want to pop in?
March 28th?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't think I'll be in Chicago yet.
Okay. Well, we'll hang
If I'm
out.
not in Chicago, because I'm going to Chicago at the end of the month for 4 days.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of
Wait, who's Scooter? You or the guy drinking the water?
God. Well, listen,
What?
we're talking water. Don't make me do it. 'Cause
Who is more hydrated today, Tom or Scoot? Oh, Adam's got water? Holy crap.
I do
always
not. I have Propel in my fridge.
But welcome back, ladies
Not
and
water.
gentlemen, to another
is water.
episode of Clickbait Sports. Today, we have a great episode prepared for you. A lot of stuff went down the past couple of weeks. But before we get into that, let's do some introductions. In the top left corner, it is none other than the legendary Brandon Perna himself. Brandon, how's it going today? How are you
Hi,
feeling?
Brandon.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Pretty good.
Hi.
Did my Patreon hangout last night.
How was it?
Looks like you got a haircut.
Apparently, I drank a little too much whiskey because I
Amen.
fought through a hangover all day today.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing better.
It happens. Well, welcome to the show. You know him as that Packers fan. He goes by TDG, better
That's
known as
good, Packers.
Tom Grassi. Tom, how's it going today?
It's going. It's going well. Thank
That's
you.
fair.
Yeah.
That
You need to
is-
clean your camera. It looks a little fuzzy. Can you
That-
wipe it off?
Okay.
How's that?
Or not.
Better.
And
now.
to the right of him, it is none other than the New York Giants representative of this stream. Five, how's it? Oh, with the bench warmer brew on deck.
Mm.
Five, how's it going today?
This literally is the best coffee. Okay, look.
No.
Go to benchwarmerbrew.com and you get yourself the 5 points blend right here. This is the light roast.
Oh,
You
okay.
get the
And,
dark roast, baby. Dark
Drink that
roast.
stuff. Smells amazing.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome Five to the show. We got
Yes.
some early donations, $50 from Alatreon Get Punished Cowgirls fan, LMAO. Who's really the one getting punished here? I just got $50. I'll take it.
Oh, he's wiping it off.
And to the
Ooh.
right of me,
Oh,
it is none other
Sexy.
than Urinating Tree with the rebuttal towards
Pick that. You
that
pick
bench.
this coffee. Pick this coffee.
Tree.
This
How's
is
it
the
going
best
so far
coffee.
today?
I'm doing all right, man. Nice sunny day out here in Pittsburgh. It's been a nice stretch of weather over here. So it's Thursday. Week's been relatively steady, nice and easy. We really didn't lose anything by not having clickbait last week, so it's a good feeling.
That's
Very
fair.
good feeling.
That's fair. Listen, I did miss you guys. I did miss all of you.
Mhm.
I was away at NBA All-Star break. That was tremendous. We can talk
What
about
happened
that.
there? That looked
Yeah.
cool.
Bro, I'm
Our
telling you
invitations
guys,
must have gotten lost.
we can talk about it. It was wild.
Do you get a +1 for those things, Scooter?
I did. Shane
I
was
call
there.
+1 next year. I call
Yeah,
+1 next year.
Do not
We're gonna have
take
to-
your significant other. Take
We're
one
gonna
of
have
us.
to. We're gonna have to
please.
fight Shane. But let's get into today. Let's get into the podcast. We're gonna
Hold on.
start.
Back up.
Okay.
Hold on. I like how you just
Only real
casually
fans
mentioned.
get to go, Scooter.
Right. You just casually mentioned. Who did you meet? Like, did you
Okay.
meet? Like
That's fair.
some
Okay.
celebrities?
Let's
Did
talk
you
about
hang out
All
with-
Star for a little bit.
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about it. All Star was heavily dope.
Wait. Five, are you taking out the Harley after the show? Is that what's going on with the
Look,
the
this
current
jacket
ensemble?
is just pure drip right here. This is not
It's
a
a-
leather jacket. It's just like your look. It's like a standard,
Chat, rank the jacket on a scale of 1 to
rank
10.
the jacket.
Rank the
It's
jacket.
just drip right here. It's
Scale
just-
of 1 to 10.
You
know,
Give it
can't
on to
wear-
Suzuki.
You can't.
It looks
wear
like you're
a
trying
jacket.
out for
I'm
the Blue Lotus
old,
triad.
okay?
But let's
You
try and
can't-
stay on track.
Hold
here.
on.
Let's try and stay on track.
Let me do
We're
my
talking
Hold
about-
shitty joke.
Let Brandon tell his bad joke.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah, his
guys.
dad
We all tell
joke.
terrible
Come on.
jokes here.
Do
All
you
right,
guys
yeah,
Brandon.
dude.
understand how to listen?
Okay.
just
No,
gonna
you
say-
think we expect us to listen?
I was just gonna say.
Ooh.
You
That
can't
is
wear a jacket that nice in a chair that shitty. That's all I wanted.
What
to
are you
say.
trying to say? That
Look
this
at-
chair is bad or something?
It looks like you murdered your chair to make that jacket.
I did.
It looks like you either splooged so hard that it's stuck to the fibers, or you painted a roof and you accidentally let it trip on the damn chair.
I have a new chair. It's just uncomfortable.
It
I
looks
just
like
don't want to use it.
Cowboys won the Super Bowl last time you bought that chair. Okay,
Whoever loses the
not
punishment
that old.
today has to just buy Adam a real
Self
chair.
burn.
that's fair.
People just donate to 5, and it's like it's not even a punishment. It's just for your lumbar support.
Okay, guys,
Thank you.
get on
Appreciate
track.
it.
Let's get on track. Let's do one thing at a time. And so we can either talk about NBA All-Star or we can get into the podcast. It's on you.
No, I just want to know who the most famous person you met was, and who was the most famous person who knew who you was. Those are my questions.
So I met a couple of people. Like Giannis walked past me. This man is tall as heck.
Giannis!
Tyler Hero, dap Tyler Hero up. Met Paulo Banchero at the Jordan party, which was heavily dope. But a lot of Ball is Life people. I don't know who the biggest. Cash Nasty was there too. He thought he knew me, but he was talking about someone else. So,
He's like, "You're Kevin on stage, aren't you?"
long story short, All Star was an amazing experience. I got to go through some of the drills that they were doing. If you make any type of basketball content, that is where you need to be because you will just meet so many people. There's so many things going on. And if I can, I will go back as much as possible because the networking abilities are amazing. But yeah, it was dope. Should have a video coming out. Maybe we'll see. I got a lot of footage. It's just wild.
Did
But
any
what-
NBA players know who you were though?
I
Were
don't.
they like, "Oh yeah, you're that Cowboys fan"?
Oh no.
no.
But I also met Dwayne Wade, so I had to put that out there.
D-Wade.
And
Nice.
Gabrielle Union, which was pretty
Oh,
dope.
I've met D Wade. D Wade's head is the biggest head I've ever
It's a
seen.
surprise
Oh,
pupper.
Surprise pupper.
Did
Good
you
little
meet
pupper.
Did you meet any pups at the All Star game? Scooter.
I met the Utah Jazz
Oh.
mascot,
Oh.
Oh,
which was
in
pretty
or out of the suit?
in the suit. In the suit.
Oh, okay.
But let's get this podcast started. We begin with Jalen Carter. Does anyone want to set up this backstory? Anyone want to explain to the viewers who may not be privy to what has happened about Jalen? Do you guys even know what has happened with Jalen?
I know a little bit about Jalen. I don't know a ton to really
All
talk
right,
about.
Brandon, you want to tag team this?
Yeah, Brandon and Tom.
You Eiffel Tower this story, boys.
Yeah, we covered this on a little show called The Grass and Burner Show, a little GPS action. No big deal every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But yeah, so Jalen Carter, arguably, I think the consensus, right? Number 1 DT in the
Mhm.
Could go to the Bears.
got some misdemeanors charging. He's actually back at the combine already. That took like a whole day. I think it was like a $4,000 bail, and he wound up coming back. But apparently, he was in a car that was racing another car, and they were going like super duper fast. And unfortunately, that other car lost control. There was alcohol involved, and 2 people passed away. And apparently, they lied about where they were. Like they said they were like a mile down the road, and they weren't near the other car. And so now he has 2 misdemeanor charges, and that's going to have to get dealt with. But he is back at the combine as of today. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Brandon, what did you see?
I read a thing today about so he didn't know that the police were even looking at him or that this warrant was going to be issued. So it was a surprise to him. And I read a thing today about the police report from when he received a speeding ticket like prior to this incident. And it was just like the transcript of the officer telling him to slow down and to tell his teammates to slow down because he was like the second or third player from Georgia that he had ticketed for speeding. So that's kind of like a precursor into like just some information about like this officer who just based on the words, like I don't know exactly what happened, but just seemed like concerned about like guys driving too fast. And obviously that's, you're trying to say and do the right thing there, but in no way is a young like 20-something gonna go back to his football teammates and be like, "Hey guys,
Hey guys,
we need to slow down." So I think we should all take this seriously and do it moving forward. But knowing like what happened after that obviously makes it just really tragic. But yeah, he's back at the combine. And that's basically the gist of the story. Like, we don't know if this will affect his draft stock right now. It's kind of weird timing. But that the fatal crash happened just back in January.
Yeah,
So
it happened
it's
a
not like
while
something they were
ago.
just waiting and sitting on, to drop
Unless
now.
it's new evidence, that's what I'm guessing.
So what do you guys think? Are you guys shocked at the timing of this? Like, if this were pressing, do you believe they would have done something earlier?
I thought I'm sorry. I thought as a story, it was a little oversold. Obviously, you don't want a top prospect in the NFL draft to be involved in any legal issues whatsoever. What's really funny was on Twitter, I saw that Todd McShay had said that Jalen Carter has character issues, and some other reporter was like, "You're a piece of crap. You need to retract this.
Yes.
You're an awful person." And then this story breaks, and like Todd McShay's like, "No, I don't think I'm going to walk this back because I think I know what I'm talking about." A lot of times with athletes, though, it's like where there's smoke about them not being good people, there's probably fire.
Some fire.
There's
usually
some a reputation when it comes to being a jerk is very much earned. It's not one thing where you didn't sign an autograph or something like that. It's usually you're behaving in a way that's not very becoming. But here's the truth of the matter. This will blow over. Jalen Carter in a month. What are we, 2 months now out from the NFL draft? He'll be a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And we would have forgotten. There'll be a story about somebody else's, tragedy. Remember that one draft where every other story?
That was 2020.
Awful? Yeah,
2020.
Yeah. That was like the worst draft ever. Hopefully, we also have the Brandon Miller story, which is to me worse. By the way,
Before we get
but
into
that's
that,
my opinion. I thought the story was oversold.
Okay, Tom, you look like you wanted to say something.
I don't know how much it would impact his draft stock. I mean, I almost made a joke because Five is saying when there's smoke, there's fire. But I was like, or if there's smoke, there's a gas mask bong with Laramie Tunsil. Like, you think about like that and how that did impact his stock. Like, I know that those things are not like comparable at all, but that idea of like if that lowered his stock, would something like this? Maybe, but maybe there's also enough time that's because this is at the end of April we're talking about. Like, there's also a lot of time to go for more things to come out or for things to get smoothed over. So I think he still winds up going top 10 though.
Yeah. A few couple well-placed bribes will sell that.
So
that's how it is. A nice PR story by Adam Schefter and ESPN. They're good to go.
So is the consensus of the group that this will have minimal effect on Jalen Carter's draft stock?
I still think he's top 10. Easy.
It might still be top 5.
Yeah.
He's at a level of talent where I think like it probably won't affect him too much. And they're just misdemeanor charges for
leaving the scene.
I don't want to get it wrong,
like
but
that?
like reckless driving is
I mean, clearly, let's not discount what he did. Like, speeding to me, awful. Like, I don't care. Like, I guess a lot of people speed, but if you speed and drive recklessly around me, around children, around people on the highway that are just trying to get from their job from one place to the other, and you wreck someone and you injure them or kill them, you're a turd. Like, obviously, you're a terrible person, and you could have prevented it by just going the speed limit.
I'm gonna be honest. I always shake my head at people that drive like 100 in like a 45-mile-per-hour zone and just swerve from a bunch of lanes. I'm like, dude, what are you
an accident waiting to happen?
You mean AFL team owner Antonio Brown? Get some respect in his name.
I think the more telling thing about this situation is that you already have examples of what not to do. Clear examples of what not to do. Look at a Henry Ruggs situation. How can anyone coming into the league right now look at what happened to Henry Ruggs and think, you know what, maybe I will go and be around these people racing or driving, or it's just like you have to know your place. And your place is you're about to get drafted top 5. So you need to act accordingly. And I think that's really all this story is. Someone not realizing you need to, the people you are around matter. Speaking of people not acting to their station, Morant.
Oh boy.
Have you guys heard this story?
Now this story
There
is
are a couple
more
stories.
interesting.
A couple stories.
Not a fan
there,
of
actually.
Foot Locker, from what I heard.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, no, he just
Or
wants to
mall
figure out when he
security.
gets off his shift. You know, he just wanted to grab him around, maybe just give him a couple bro hugs. And punch him
Shannon
in the
Sharp
face
was
a couple
on to
times.
something.
Leave
is
him
what we're
bloody.
saying.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So who wants to break down this situation? Who knows what has happened in this situation? Anyone off top? If not,
There are a couple. There are actually 2 stories. First one was about the story at a Foot Locker where Morant's mom had an issue with an employee at the Foot Locker, and I don't know what happened there. Maybe like he wouldn't let him return like an old pair of sneakers or something, and and then Morant comes 9 deep with this whole posse, just asking for like where that guy is, and when he just wants to get off work because they're probably gonna like just destroy him in the back alley, just leave him bloodied. And then there's another story, I believe, where it's like he was going after a 12-year-old kid at a summer camp or something like that.
Yeah. Here's what
I mean,
happened.
pickup game?
No, it was like actually a summer camp.
Trees should not do play-by-play. Okay.
Well, I just need to find the story. It's like he was accused of punching a 17-year-old boy 12 to 13
So
times.
here's
and
how I
catching a gun at
understood
him.
it. Okay.
John
here's how-
Morant attacked Al Bundy at the shoe store.
Yes. So apparently, Morant's mom was at the Foot Locker, got
Yes.
into an argument, calls Morant.
Yes.
Morant shows up with an entire entourage.
9 deep.
Security blocks them from even coming near this kid. Then an altercation occurs in the parking lot where Morant allegedly punched someone or punched this kid 13 times, something to that effect. I believe no cops were called, or no, police were called to de-escalate the situation between the posse and the security guards. However, it's Morant in Memphis.
The grousing
And-
posse.
It's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine. No, wrong. Different posse. Different posse.
Yeah, different posse. And of course, I don't think any charges have been filed. I don't think anything has been. These are all reports, and then these are all allegeds. Okay, by the way, don't sue us, if this turns out to be untrue, like Brett Favre and Pat McAfee.
Well,
Legend.
I mean,
We can talk about that.
it gives a whole new meaning to 50 for the Grizzly.
in addition to what you're hearing from these other people, Morant also posted on Twitter about he basically threatened someone, talking about it's free to feel how hollows feel, referring to hollow bullets. It's free to feel how hollows feel in a tweet.
Mm.
And also reportedly, allegedly, he pointed a red dot at a car of a team, a fellow team he was going up against after they lost, after they made some comments. So it literally followed and pointed a red dot at a car of the rival team in the NBA. So
Just the laser, though. He just busted out the pointer, like the cat little chaser thing that he just put. He did that. He put the cat chaser on their car.
so this
That's
brings to
funny
mind,
and
like,
petty.
what are
I'm just trying to
the
entertain
ramifications and repercussions of Morant acting like this? A lot of people, Shannon Sharp says Morant's hustling backwards. A lot of people are saying, why are you acting like this? You went to a private school. You don't have to prove anything to anyone.
What did he? Sharp roasted him like Eminem and 8 Mile.
That's immediately what I thought of.
I'm not like that. So Shannon Sharp
You went
didn't
to
say all
private-
that.
I don't
Shannon
know
Sharp
the
didn't
line.
say all that. Shannon Sharp just said he's hustling backwards. So it's just like, what is going on? You're an NBA player. You don't owe anything to you don't need to act like this. Are there any other players we can think of in the past or current that have behaved like this?
Well-
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hustling
saying
backwards?
that he's behaved like this, but AJ Brown's very upset at Juju Smith-Schuster right now. He is very, very upset with
And
it.
we can
That's
talk
the
about that.
boxing match I want to see, though.
Let's get into that
Yes.
after this. But just off top, are there players that are acting like this that you can think of historically, and how did it end up for them?
I mean, Marvin Harrison, wasn't he allegedly like
he allegedly
bad
shot a
guy? Yeah, like allegedly he was like not the low key player that he was, and like was off the field like just a real like malcontent. But
I remember
no one's ever
Clooney
proved all that stuff. There was like some ESPN Plus article.
There's a good one. Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas, Hibachi. That was great. He brought a loaded gun into the locker room.
What do you guys think the allure
Plaxico.
is?
Did?
What is the
Plaxico.
allure for NFL players trying to, quote unquote, be hood or behave like they're from the hood or have roots and ties to the hood? What do you think it is that makes players want to be like this?
I think you're asking the wrong 4 people that question.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't
the
have
only thing
any
I'd
ties.
say
That's very true.
The only thing I'd say is like to feel
This
like
is
you're
my
not a
tie,
sellout.
bro.
That's the only thing I can think of.
If
It's
my mom
hard,
called
though.
me from
Okay.
Foot Locker, I'd be like, "What did you do, Mom? Why
It's
are you
hard, though.
pissing off the people at Foot Locker?"
It doesn't matter where you end up, your friends, your crew, the people that you trust the most, if they are into some stuff, you're probably you're gonna run with them. It's hard not to break the. What are you gonna just make it to the NBA and never talk to the people that you grew up with?
Yeah, that's fair. Like,
And
it's
some people
one
are
thing-
also insane. They have no sense of consequence for any of their actions. Look, Ja Morant's probably gonna get away with this.
It's
Okay,
one
it's like
thing
O.J.
to
Simpson.
it's one
How
thing.
old is Morant?
He's like 21.
That's I mean, like,
21?
He's 23. He's 23.
23.
you want
Yeah.
to get at the real heart of the problem. It's like young dudes with a lot of money. I don't care like necessarily where they come from. Like that can be a recipe for issues. When you have unlimited funds, you're really, really good at a sport. One of the best in one of the biggest leagues in the world. Like, you're just going to run into issues.
We just
when you
think
have
this is a
that type
case of
shit.
a young player with too much money trying to be something he's not.
Probably.
We wish Ja the best and hope he changes. But something
again,
that will not change. Go ahead, Tom.
Real quick, because like we were talking about honey. We were talking about Henry Ruggs before, and like that idea of you have all of these options, right? Where you can get you could Uber, even the team like can provide transport for you. But like there is something to be said, and how many times has it been repeated by veterans of like any sport? But it's just you're young, you're dumb, and you also have like a ton of money. So it's like, hey, like all of a sudden, especially if like you came from like a very non-wealthy background, right? Like, and now all of a sudden you have all this money, you could do literally whatever you want.
And you have no guidance to tell you
exactly.
to save that
Like,
money. That's why a lot of athletes go broke.
Exactly. So you're just even talking about like investing and things like that. There's so many reasons why after players are no longer like when they're done with the game that they don't have any money, and like this is one of the it's an issue, but it's unfortunately like it kind of comes with the territory, and unless you kind of have that guidance, which I don't think everybody does,
No.
you're
They
gonna
get
run
bad
out of
advice.
Look here. Let me give an example. As famous YouTubers, all of us deal with these problems all the time.
Right.
Having XX money, adoring fans,
All the women you can bang.
We got into YouTube for the women.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious
with our
that-
1% female
My
audience.
wife has never loved me more.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Shane,
so,
cracks the
these
whip,
are
man.
problems I can identify with.
I love you,
and,
Shane. Just for the record.
Why do you
Sometimes you
think
just
4
go
out
a
of 5
little
of us
hard.
are single?
Yeah.
Let's change topics. We're going to go into the AJ Brown, Juju Schuster beef. Have you guys seen the skit that was posted online?
I
Have
have
you guys
not.
seen
Did
this?
that just drop?
So I
The
wake
skit.
up. Trending is AJ Brown's comment that he DM'd JuJu. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I
No,
retweeted that.
no.
Five
Oh,
Tree,
did?
are you
I
privy
need
to
to
this?
see it. Can we
No.
play
Can we
it?
get this
Can we
pulled
bring it up?
We
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
the
I'm
skit
looking.
pulled
Brandon,
up.
you retweeted it. Pull
I
it
don't-
up.
I don't see a.
Called context.
I just see an image. It's just an image, right?
The DM is an image, yes, but and this is crazy. Literally, JuJu got with another football content creator that wasn't one of us. Wow, JuJu.
Whoa.
And
yo,
made
Do you really
a
expect him to do it with
skit.
me? No.
He made a skit basically like kidnapping AJ Brown and beating him up essentially like a faux AJ Brown. Have you guys seen this?
He beat up a effigy of AJ Brown.
I don't know what
Who was the creator? Was it Joey Molinari?
No,
No,
it
Molinari?
was Mr. Go 30. Are you familiar with
I do not
Yeah,
know
he's
Mr.
hilarious.
Go30.
I don't want to
Yeah,
brag,
probably
guys,
hilarious.
but I just double checked, and my numbers for February, I got 8.9% female audience. So
8.9. Ooh.
Oh,
Look at you
wow.
flexing. Look at you.
That was
That's
all
just-
Tree's
wanna
mom
say,
watching over and over again.
So,
Right.
where can I comment this? So we can watch this video. It's only 2 minutes. So I think we
Okay.
should watch this video and then so here's the DM.
Oh, here it is.
So wake up this morning, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this. AJ Brown posted this. JuJu did not post this. So AJ Brown wrote this, screenshotted this, and then he posted it.
What's even
online.
funnier is it could have gone into his like message request folder too.
Yeah.
So like, JuJu never saw it.
I think usually if it's like a verified, it immediately goes up to the
Oh,
front.
okay. But
I mean, if it's a
you know how on
subscriber.
Instagram you have different levels of inbox. You have
Yeah.
like actual, and then like another like regular, and then like whatever spam crap. That's where it went. Was in the spam crap.
I'm gonna
So-
start doing this to you guys.
Just sending me. Don't play them
Hey,
kids games.
how come you haven't Venmo me that money for the DoorDash I paid for?
So, what do we think about screenshotting your own DM and then posting it on Twitter as a flex? What are
I
we?
mean,
Where are we at on that?
It's weak. It's weak. You're
Is
just
it the
creating
sketch?
drama.
That is.
Oh, here's the skit.
yeah.
Oh, can we reset this from the top? All right.
Parker, how you doing?
Oh, bro. What?
Filthy American spy. Tell me, where are the files containing the algorithm?
I put it somewhere. You'll never find it.
Take them out.
All right, now corners didn't even show up. Right? It's like we went to Jordan Peele's barber. All right, just take a look at Davis. Right? You pissed down your leg and you held him like a press conference. All right, bring it back. Right? You pissed down your leg and you pulled him like a kick though. Man, it wasn't even his fault. You know, I think it's funny how y'all coaches want to seem stressed now, but y'all wasn't making no alterations to the game plan. Y'all was just like a stiff man catching a twerk. Y'all ain't know how to adjust to the motion. And after Rihanna killed half like Thanos, they was using JuJu more than Nigerians. Y'all ain't do nothing about it. Well, I guess it's safe to say we all dropped the ball then, huh? And I'm going. I'll see y'all next year. Make sure I get my money right. I'm doing whatever he does. Sit your ass down, Davis. Damn, so this never would have happened if your mama was at corner. She couldn't hold on to a man if she tried.
Whoa.
Mr. President,
Oh,
things work? No, look. Aquarius Jefferson Brown. Can we trust him? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Retrieve the boy. Get rid of him.
Before I get started, is the father currently here?
He's not. He is away on a business trip in China. Why, is everything okay? Is it a girl or a boy?
Well, see, that's the thing. There seems to be a file encrypted near the prefrontal cortex of the baby's head.
I put it somewhere. You'll never find it.
From what we can determine in code, it looks like you may be having a TikTok boy.
what? What was that?
That
What
had
did we
more
just
endings than the
watch?
Return of the King.
It wasn't like a diss. It was just insane. That guy's very funny, by the way, Coach 30.
So watching that, let's just get rapid response. What is your response after watching that? Like, where are we at?
Right now, I'm confused.
I feel like they wanted to be Quentin Tarantino, and
I feel like the cinematography and the pacing was off. That was really what struck me there.
So that's the video that got AJ Brown angry.
That's the
video.
What?
Kudos to AJ Brown for even understanding that and following the plot, because
I did not know.
If that was about me, I wouldn't have known. I would not have known.
It's racing all over the place, man. I mean, unfortunately, what they teach you is unless you can pull it off, it does not work well. It doesn't.
What did they call him? Aquarius something Brown? Is that his real name? AJ? I thought it's just Andrew Jones.
I don't know what's going on, but that was definitely. I'm going to be looking forward to see where this beef goes. We're going to be paying very close attention to this. We're going to move on, though.
Oh, hey, that was like a hundo right there. Yeah.
Johnny John John!
There we go.
GPS has invaded.
Yeah, look at GPS in the background now.
Switch to get the clip.
Aquarius Jefferson. That's his name. AJ Brown. Stands for Aquarius.
No, it's actually Arthur Juan, but
Arthur Juan.
Yes.
Oh, a million to one.
We're gonna change topics now.
All right. Yeah.
NFL recently came out with some grades, and did y'all know this was happening?
I didn't know it was happening, but I'm very glad it did.
So the NFL basically came out with some grades, and they graded a lot of stuff. Here we go. And they would rank every team, literally like a report card, A through F. And the final rankings are as follows.
Well,
the best.
Whoa.
Okay, go ahead.
These aren't fine. These are just it doesn't give you a net rating on the NFLPA website.
I got a net rating.
I have one that ranks them all. I have this article that ranks them from 1 to 32.
Yep. Where the Vikings are number 1.
Yep.
Oh.
And the Commanders are in last place.
Not surprised.
No one is surprised by that.
Yeah.
That
the problem is
lovely Midwest town treats their people right, and the worst place on earth, Washington, D.C., treats their players wrong.
So, I love how strength staff is like everyone A plus, Falcons D-, Ravens F-. Like, what did the strength staff do? Did they literally inject them with chemo?
Well, what's interesting is a lot of players have actually been responding to some of these grades.
Well, they voted on it.
Well, what I mean is they've quote tweeted. So I can't think of the players off top, but some players have literally quote tweeted their team got an F for the strength and conditioning, and they quote tweeted that grade and said, "This is the reason why I'm no longer playing football. This strength coach messed me up."
The Ravens, the Ravens literally they had a time today on Twitter because you had players who were going after them, being like, "Yeah, no, they're terrible." Because it was the strength coach. He was gone, I think, in 2020?
Yeah,
he's
recently fired. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was somewhat recently. But yeah, Rashad Bateman was talking about it.
Yes, that's it.
How are you a bad strength coach unless you're that guy that does those gym videos where he's got a couch on his back and he's, have you seen that where he's got the treadmill on top of the treadmill? Unless you're that dude, how are you bad at training? It's very simple. Stretch.
My question to you guys is this. What stuck out to you guys when you saw this, if anything?
What struck out to me was the Arizona Cardinals still charging their players
to
eat food.
For food. The only team in the league. The Cardinals charge their players for food.
That is why I will never respect the Bidwells. It's run by a failure of an owner, raised by a failure before him. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, subscribe, Brandon.
Oh no,
ad blocker. Get that plus.
Ad block. And you're saying to like and subscribe and view the ads. Come on, Brandon.
No, I did it because ads kept popping up on stuff in the live streams. They're like, get ad blockers. I get ad blocker. And then there's certain websites that don't let you mess without ad blockers.
Yeah,
that's fair. That is fair. What stuck out to me personally is if you look at the Cowboys rankings, I mean, almost perfect.
Number 5.
Well, Jerry
overall,
Jones
Dallas.
loves his players. He doesn't spare.
He does take care of the players. When we went down to Dallas, the facilities were very nice.
They are very nice. They are very nice. I don't know what's going on with the training room where we're sitting at a B, but I've seen the training room. It looked pretty good to me. I'm not
Packers
sure.
are number 6.
You would expect the teams that have a lot of money to use it on facilities and other things.
I'm surprised that the Giants are at 8 because I know that everyone hates the turf at MetLife, and the practice facilities look nice. But and remember, a couple years ago there was a lot of hate on the Giants' strength and conditioning team, and now they've kind of fixed that. So impressed that the Giants made it to 8.
How are
Ahead
the
of, say, a
Texans at 4 is my question.
What else are they spending money on?
Y'all have no excuse.
They're not
They might
spending
as
on the
well
players.
Their facility's nice. They ain't doing anything else with it.
That's so interesting.
Ooh, Steelers.
Look
and
at
Broncos.
look at number 20. Yeah. Why
Yeah,
would
the
the
Steelers are
Broncos
down
be
there
bad?
because-
Broncos hate families.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the families for the Steelers too. Plus, it's like the strength conditioning areas. They don't really have confidence that they're upgrading them. That's why.
Wow.
What do you need to upgrade?
I am so glad they did this because this is something I didn't know that I needed, but I feel like we should also do this with players. What do we think?
What do you mean?
Report cards.
This what?
Every player needs a report card.
Every
Yes.
week we do report cards A through F. Tom, you're looking confused.
You're saying like Aaron Donald didn't have a good week, so he gets an F? Like that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Aaron Donald tried to
We
choke
should
another
give-
actor.
We should give report
Oh, God.
cards to each other and just be like, all right, Tree,
Whoa.
you were not funny this week. I'm gonna give you a D.
Well, I mean,
Tom.
I would get Fs every week. I'll tell you. So.
Yeah.
You know what else
Pretty
you would
much in the
get
chat.
is a punishment. Speaking of, do we have this ready?
Oh
do.
yeah,
We have
we
a
were supposed to
punishment.
start the show
Yeah.
with this.
Well, I
We'll
mean,
go back into these grades because
all I'm
I think
gonna
there's
say
a lot of
is-
interesting things to
Oh.
I know. I'd like to
It's a
talk
very-
about the grades more.
it's a very compelling
get back into
issue,
the
but
grades.
we'll be right back after this commercial break. Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple Whopper, plain grilled taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. Lettuce, mayo, pickle, ketchup. It's okay if I don't want that impossible or bacon Whopper. Any Whopper my way. You rule your season the day at BK. Have it your way. You rule!
Mom, I need help.
Nobody told you to fornicate with the Whopper.
I thought it'd be funny.
It's the best part. It's the best part.
Can someone clip that?
10 out of 10.
I
Oh
want
my
that
God.
on repeat.
out of 10.
You American pied it. Respect.
That last scene is what I imagine your
he had it
Tree
his
to
way.
be before I met him. Like that's how I saw him in my mind, was just this guy on a couch covered in fries. So you have made my vision of you a reality now. Thank you.
Wow. I was getting lost in the fact that I was like, hey, Tree's actually carrying the tune nicely.
That was pretty good.
I was like a little surprised at it. Oh, and now he's having sex with him.
I was making out with the burger too. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Whoppers are good. I mean,
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple Whopper, plain grilled taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. Lettuce, mayo, pickle, ketchup. It's okay if I don't want that impossible or bacon Whopper. Any Whopper my way. You rule your season the day at
I just wanted to see that part. The counter was just a little too high for it.
I needed like a little
now I know how now I know how Tree gets down too. 'Cause
That's
Mom,
my favorite.
Hey, you know what? When you're horny,
Uh-huh.
you gotta do it anywhere you can, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, there
Mom,
you go.
if
My
you're
favorite.
watching, I do apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I am so sorry, Scooter's parents.
Yeah.
I am
The
so
worst
sorry.
is like
I know you hate
those
me
Whoppers are
anyway.
Terrible.
There was
They
no
do not
warning.
look
Honestly,
good.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Impossible Whopper, it tastes like crap.
You guys heard of the
Your Impossible's
McRib?
Not great.
I just saw the McBone. That was good.
I mean, the Whoppers, like the
Yeah.
burgers themselves are okay. I used to work at a Burger King, but like the
Same
Impossible
here.
Whopper, I don't know if it's because it was like, I was sitting
They do
outside
not
for a
make
little
it
bit.
well there.
No, it's
They
not
don't.
good. It just tastes like, ugh.
Whopper's good. I worked at Burger King. That was my first job.
Oh
on
yeah, same
Backward
here.
Road
Burger King, dude.
in
Nice.
Springfield, Virginia.
Let's get
And,
back on track.
Yeah.
Let's
so-
talk about these
Virginia?
grade. Let's close out these grades. Tom, you said you wanted to talk a little bit more about the grades, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah. I think it's so funny that when the Commanders grade came out that they were literally the worst, not a single soul was surprised. Like not a single person. They're like, yeah, that tracks. Like that makes 100% sense. And it's just nothing gets done about it. And it like again, all the we've talked about Dan Snyder ad nauseum. And it's like even the players, like look at these grades. Like they have 1 A+, and then they got F-.
What's the A+ in? What is the A? Can scroll up?
I think that was the strength and conditioning. Like it's
Oh.
literally what the Ravens are not good at.
They probably have some great coach that's a
Their
legend.
stadium is 30
like,
minutes away from one another. If you're the Ravens, you're calling up the Commanders and being like, "Hey, come on in."
Nutrition is a D+. You can't
Yes,
feed
right.
your players.
Dude,
Locker
it's-
room.
It's not about feeding. It's Dan Snyder, dude.
Team
There are
travel,
allegations that he
F.
was using the team as a slush fund to pay private staff, a jet,
Oh my
a
gosh.
logo,
Did
a
y'all
$45
see
million
that?
Redskins helmet on the jet, like mansions.
Can I,
Yes,
can I
did
also
see
say
that.
too,
all that
like
stuff.
they don't even have a family room, and yet they ranked lower than the Broncos, who if they do have a family room, and the Broncos don't, but they still ranked lower for family
Yeah.
support, probably because of everything they do for families.
How
Yeah.
good is this strength coach? If
One
you got an
person.
A+ in there,
There's a one.
That's the man I want.
Yeah, he is massaging prostates. He's going the extra amount that we need.
that guy
for
got an
strength training.
the strength
100%
coach got an
players.
A+ with the training room. That's an
T1.
F.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
He's
not
like-
even weights in here, but this coach, he got his.
he walks in with
strength.
concrete weights.
He
and he's
said,
just
"We're
like,
doing
"All
body
right,
weight today, boys.
Yeah.
Body weight only. Here we go."
P90X. Who do they have?
They
They have
do
the
not
dude
want to
from
do their
P90X.
rehab here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You'd rather do it in a
So-
hotel.
That
Honestly,
brings
I'd
up-
rather do it in a back alley with
That-
a
that-
Russian
that-
doctor named Vladimir.
That makes me
He has a little rusty hatchet. That's
Oh.
what I read.
There's
I
a
think
lack
I
of
remember this one
water.
tweet. So there's this one tweet from Byron Jones. I don't know if you guys
God.
Poor
saw
drainage
that.
in the showers. Like,
But-
what's in there? Is it like Dan Snyder's pubic hair?
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Is it that? Is it
I
just
think
like?
we're
Is there
done.
is there like poo coming out of the sewers?
Yeah, poo water.
That
It's a
sounds
poo
like something
water.
Washington would do.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
I'm
But-
surprised the Rams aren't higher because they have like a new where did they rank really
Yeah.
low? Because they were low on there. Like they have a state of the art facility.
Well, no, but the Rams, like, apparently the stadium doesn't have air conditioning, right? It's like it's supposed to just free flow. So maybe they cut some corner. It's a $5 billion stadium, but they had to, like just concrete alone was probably $4 billion. So you
How
don't
do
get many perks.
Food
But like the
service and
Raiders.
nutrition. And we see shots of like celebrities at Rams games eating sushi like in the box.
Yeah.
They can't get good food for their players.
It's a reflection of LA, right?
Wait a minute. Do the Chargers really have an A- for their strength and conditioning after they stabbed Rod Taylor? Is that what the minus
wasn't
is?
strength
It
and
was a
conditioning.
plus.
That was medical. That was
It
medical.
was a
Yeah.
plus, but then we had to take off a couple points because we stabbed the player's lung.
I am
Probably
surprised that the medical staff is not part of this ranking
Yeah,
as well.
unless-
That's
yeah.
interesting.
I feel like medical
Got
would
that
be the
next
big thing.
year. Can we
Because you
close
know
out-
who would be giving out would have the highest grades is whoever's giving out the best drugs for sure.
No,
Can
I mean
we-
they'll probably bitch about that the most times because I feel like all they're doing is chucking Toradol at people. Byron Jones had a big tweet about that as well. Like,
So
you
let's
can't
actually talk about that.
move anymore.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Byron Jones well, let's close this out first. So any more words on anything you guys see you want to talk about real quick on these rankings?
I saw someone with a bunch of A's though.
So why does the Cardinals training room have an F-? Like, where is it at? Is it like a 70s gym that has mold growing out of it?
It just plays Rocky 3 on loop. Just to motivate their players.
I mean, hey, Rocky 3 would be a better training room than what the Cardinals have.
Has a carpet made of staph
let's see.
infection.
How do you F minus?
But no, it's
They have notes.
Make them pay for it.
The floor.
Floors are
Back up.
uneven.
Back up. It
The
says
floorboards are peeling.
uneven.
What the heck?
You're in a weight room, brother.
It says
Your
it's a
weight
health
room
and
has to
safety
be
risk
even. If you
just
mess
to
up a
walk
squat,
through
guess
the
what?
room.
Your leg's screwed.
What the heck?
They're like,
Bro.
only one player found the ceilings to be high enough, and it's Kyler Murray.
That's crazy. Like, I wouldn't even pay money
Like,
for like
guys, I'm
an
good.
LA Fitness or a YMCA. You go to the weight room and the floorboards are peeling. I'm not paying money for this. This is
Or they
crazy.
have a sauna.
Honestly, you'd probably get a better weight room at a Planet Fitness. At least they
Wow.
keep
Oh, I
it
know
small.
which one I want to see.
Who's that?
Let's see here. Let me go down to Jacksonville. See, it opens a new tab. So when I click on it, I just got to do this. Here we go. All right. I know there's something funny here. Let's see. Family, food, weight room. Hold on. Training room.
20% of players feel there's enough hot stop space. Oh boy.
Infestation in the locker room. Rat infestation in the locker room in Jacksonville.
Dude.
That's kind of tough, though.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's not nice to say about Urban Meyer.
It's
Have you guys ever played football? Like with
Dude,
a locker
for
in a locker room?
month.
Yes.
I've been
For a
in many
month.
locker. It's very
I mean,
difficult to keep pests
Like
out
locker
of a
rooms
big
are
building.
dirty just in nature. They're
Just
very
because you have a lot of sweat. It's just
It's a
that's
dirty
what it is.
place.
A month. How do you have rats for a month?
Those are tough to eradicate, to be completely honest with you. You can't
Yeah, you gotta
use
put
like
down
poisons
poison.
because either like they find a way to get past it or they just spread it towards like
Do
other
you
rats.
think that's how they beat the Chargers? Like the rat infestation just spread to the visitors' locker room, and
Well,
they're just like, "Oh God!"
Possible.
I mean, maybe.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
it's hard to get rid of rats, man.
Chiefs
Yeah.
were bottom 5 as well.
Yeah, Chiefs were not great.
That's why they're so good.
Yeah, because they expect that grittiness out of their players.
Like, we just want to
Dang.
stay on the field. We
Team
don't want to go back
travels
to the
and-
locker room.
What does the team travel in F for? Like, are they using like a rickety old like plane?
I guess,
Oh,
yeah,
they're
they're
taking buses.
Sometimes you have to
ranking-
share rooms
Y'all don't
too, like
got
if you have a roommate and
daycare?
stuff.
Yeah.
How do they not have daycare? What is this?
I think a lot of
bunch of-
teams don't have daycare.
Yeah,
The
a bunch
Steelers
of
don't have a
teams don't.
daycare.
What? This is
The
fascinating.
Broncos
Make it to the
do,
NFL.
and they still got a D for family treatment.
This is crazy.
Make
Okay.
it to the NFL and you can't. drop
But
your
I
kid
think
off.
this brings up a very important issue that Tree was talking about, and that is sometimes
Wait,
They want a chair instead of a stool.
they can lean
Wait.
back.
Oh, damn it.
yo, that's
They have a
important.
chair.
See, that's a little petty, though. Like,
Ah,
some of
that's
this
because
is
the arrogant
subjective.
Super Bowl
I'm
champ.
with them on that. I hate stools with no back. I'm with them.
Yeah, I'm with you
Well,
there.
Problem is you leaning back into the locker. That's the
Dude,
problem.
you are a 300-pound
no.
lineman, and you're just
So-
like, I just want a back for my chair.
Hold on,
That's
hold
all.
on. Someone's already ISO tree in the burger, and it's on Twitter.
Oh Lord.
We're done.
Well, we knew that was coming.
Yep.
Oh my.
Oh,
Everyone
my
run to
God.
Twitter. Yeah, it's been retweeted.
Oh Lord.
And
Oh Lord.
My God.
just bring it up,
Oh,
Brandon.
You know I am.
Just show it.
Oh Lord.
I like how he climaxes too. Like
Yeah,
he doesn't
dude.
leave us wanting. He finishes.
Dude, you have to go extra for these sort of things, man.
Mhm.
That is why you had to do the climax. Yeah,
Imagine
every time you climax, you always your head goes back, man. You have to.
I would tell you
Have to.
this.
And you know that
That's
burger
the
was
food
that burger
at
was
the,
asking for it, man.
Cardinals,
You don't call it the
trading-
impossible burger for nothing.
Gonna
I
have
make the
extra mayo on
impossible
it now.
possible.
Scooter might quit after this show. But anyways, it's been 2
Anyways,
years now. He has.
We're gonna close out that.
Right.
Close out the grades. Y'all are wild. But what I've been trying to say is
Secret sauce. you
Byron
say.
Jones.
I was gonna say, where do you think McDonald's gets their secret sauce from? It ain't from Thousand Island dressing. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's Thousand Island dressing.
No, it's more than Thousand Island dressing. It's a
All
little.
right. Can you let Scooter finish?
So, like I'm
You
They
saying,
already did.
Byron Jones, if we can, like, talk about anything serious. Byron Jones recently came out and said he can't run or jump because of what he has been given. He also said, make sure you always get secondary doctor's advice. Do not take the pills they give you. Do not take the injections they give you. This is actually very concerning because Byron Jones used to be on the Cowboys. This guy was a stalwart at cornerback. Then he went to Miami. And he tested as one of the most athletic players ever. And now he's saying he cannot run or jump. And so he retired because of this. What are your guys' reactions when you hear something like this? This man literally broke a world record in the broad jump at his combine. He broke the NFL record, but at the time they didn't know that was the world record. So we're talking about a world record holder who can no longer run or jump. What is the response to that when you hear that?
For me, it's whenever there's some report about, say, Daniel Jones trying to get $45 million or some defensive tackle or someone signing some ridiculous contract, I say, get your bag, because these players are giving their bodies. Some of them give their entire lives for us, for our entertainment. I know it's draconian, it's scary, but this is the reality that we live in. And for someone to be that elite of an athlete and not have that preservation later in life, I think most players, 99% would say they do it again for the glory and the life that they live. Mm-hmm. But it's just, it is what it is, man.
The fortunate thing for Byron Jones is he did get a big contract from the Miami Dolphins. He has $40 million guaranteed. So I'm guessing they'll probably use him as a cap casualty, but they still owe a good bit of dead cap either way. So he is set, and he has said that he doesn't regret it.
Yeah, but
at the same time,
it's
actually
I have to cut you off there, Tree, because he actually did say no amount of money and no amount of success is worth being in the chronic pain that he has.
Wow. Oh boy.
Good. Hey, I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
Someone's getting punished today. Someone is getting punished hard.
What's your reaction to that? Knowing that Byron Jones has said no amount of money, no amount of success. What are we thinking?
I mean, so I talked to Ryan Grant about this, who's the Packers forward running back, and he went to Washington at the time. And I think that one, like what Five's saying, it highlights that harsh reality of there's so many things that can go wrong on the football field. It's an incredibly violent game. It's a very physical game. I mean, you just look at these guys who literally just throw their bodies out there and have dramatic repercussions. And the thing is too, let's just say you're a running back. You have a window of what, 5 to 7 years, maybe somewhere around there. Yeah. And and that's the thing too. There's so much before the NFL that goes into it, right? You're working out, you're going through this regimen for years and years and years before you even step foot on that playing field. And then when you're done, you have the rest of your life to live. You're talking 50, 60 years, and you may have health problems that are going to last you the rest of your life for the 5 to 7 years that you played in the NFL. And that's a scary thing. So yeah, I can understand no money is worth that, because it's hey, I have to wake up every day now for the rest of my life with mobility issues, with pain and chronic pain, because chronic pain, that is a horrible way to live.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It's an everyday thing.
Anything about it.
100% have
it's chronic.
The thing that I really mentioned to him and I really zoned in on was their use of Toradol. Byron Jones mentioned that a ton. And Five, as you know, Uche, when he was alive, used to tell a lot about how they just throw Toradol at you whenever you had a legitimate issue, no matter what. Say, you busted up your knee, Toradol. Patrick Mahomes and his ankle, Toradol. It's why do you think he's coming out magically? It's because he's numb to everything. They've been giving him so much Toradol that it masks the pain. And I mean, you will have long-term repercussions about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, they call it
football is a brutal game.
Yeah,
it's liquid ibuprofen. That's the best way to describe Toradol.
Yeah, and people say, "Oh, it's just an NSAID. It's not a big deal." It's a powerful NSAID. Okay,
yes.
It is not just over the counter. People are "Oh, it's over the counter." Or no, okay. Tell me how you feel after an injection of that.
So then this begs the question. Then, Brandon, do you have something you want to say?
No, I was just gonna go off like what Adam's saying. It's like in ibuprofen's like this powerful anti-inflammatory too, right? In terms of it's taking away the pain, it's taking away inflammation, and players are playing through injury. So depending on the significance of that injury, you're leaning on your team doctor's opinion about the further damage you can do to that injury. And that's where there's like not consensus from what NFL doctors will tell you or trainers. And if you're looking at some of these like report cards coming in from the teams, like the Broncos had this issue like the last 5 years, tons of injuries on the team, like one of the top injured teams, and they all wanted to blame the strength and conditioning coach. And he ended up getting fired, and he's very well thought of by players, by other people in the training space. And the issue that we sort of learned was coming from the training staff. So the people who are there to help players recover, the people that they're getting their medical opinions and advice from has been a bigger problem for the Broncos specifically. And it is overuse of that. And not to just relate it all to Broncos, but Nate Jackson wrote this book called Slow Getting Up. And if you're like a football fan, I just recommend reading it because like Nate was never a top player in the league. You know, he was always fighting for a roster spot. And he talks like very openly and candidly about playing through injuries, being demanded to play through injuries, and guys who make a bunch of money. And obviously, if you're living with pain, like after that, that's one thing. But like, there's a ton of dudes who didn't make that bag, who got to go out and figure out how to navigate through the rest of their life and find money after sacrificing everything. And he talks about Toradol. He talks about like not being able to use stuff like marijuana to help with pain and having to use painkillers instead back when he was playing. So it's like a storyline that's been there for a long time with the league.
But I'll go on the flip. I'll play devil's advocate though. Sure. It's like I forget what the line is from that movie. Is like, dude, some people would kill for that feeling of feeling like a god just for 10 seconds. Like to run out on that field and to see that crowd of 90,000. Like I'm sure that is just. I don't know if it's worth chronic pain, but it's probably really close. It's probably really close. Choice. Yeah.
I think it's more about probably properly educating everyone involved in the NFL of what the actual risks are when you do take all of those things long term.
Well, I mean, and then no one would do it.
A lot of people just trust like the team.
Yeah, I mean, you worry about liver issues as well, like later down the line, because you know, like with ibuprofen, acetaminophen, your biggest side effect is liver issue. If you take
this begs the question, then, what is the NFLPA doing? If stuff like this can happen to Byron Jones,
report cards.
Here's what's happening. Money. They're counting money.
According to Uche would say nothing if you asked.
Well,
of course, like he hated the NFLPA.
Yeah, it comes down to, and I think like, but this has been an NFL problem, regardless of what we're talking. It's consistency, right? Like there needs to be a standardization across the league, right? It isn't there with fields. It isn't there with facilities. It isn't there with like owners. It isn't there with like all this crap. But I'm sorry, like that's horrifying because if you're a young player and you get injured, maybe that's your first significant injury, you are relying on those doctors because who else are you going to turn to? Like, you don't know. Right. They're supposed to know what they're talking about. Like we joke like a Tyrod Taylor and like that's horrifying. Like legitimately, like you're putting your hands, like your career, your health and everything in the hands of someone you're supposed to trust. And I think that's what was like what Rashad Bateman was talking about. That you saw these guys that were like your leg was injured and you're doing exercises and training for people who have healthy legs and you don't. So like that should not be the thing. And if we're talking about like, oh yeah, this strength and conditioning guy got fired, sure. But how many careers did that person shorten? How many ailments did that happen? Like, you know, all these things have just like add up and it's a huge problem. And it's like, if you're a player who is on the bubble, you do have to play through the pain. Like I know Antonio Brown, I know he's all the stuff that comes with it, but he talked about this too and said like, you were basically saying like, hey, suit up and you're going out there and you're playing. And you know that there is some truth to that across the league, depending on the team, depending on the coach, depending on everything, where it's like, hey, strap up and go out or you're losing a roster spot, because there are only so many guys out of the near 1,700 people who can play this game that are superstars and can afford to sit for, a season, 3 to 4 weeks, what have you.
And there's 20 guys
who are fighting.
Yeah, you have guys on the practice squad, you have guys in free agency.
Yeah, and they will gladly take that.
USFL. Oh, they'll gladly take that.
It is
like that's the problem with the reality. Like,
we got
if you won't do it, there's at least 40, 45 people that.
It's a harsh world that we live in.
It's the same thing with like radio, TV.
Let's wrap this up though. And let's go to the countdown. We're over time, so let's go ahead.
Question, real quick. Does anyone know the answer to this on here? Like, let's just say you're a player and you get injured. If you're going for a third-party opinion, don't you have to pay for that?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I thought that was illegal.
Again,
I'm not sure.
Because
I remember Kelechi Alsimile. Remember him? He got a third-party opinion and he got cut for it because he got the surgery.
But that's what I mean. Like that's a huge problem there. Because if you're a young player who's not making a lot of money because you're not a superstar, you're a 7th round pick. So
top cookies.
Yep.
All right. Countdown.
Here we go.
I honestly don't know if we need to do that. I don't think we need to do it.
Just do it.
This is.
But anyway, man.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Not
take it away.
Yeah. You're gonna wrap
all
your
know what's
sad.
gonna happen.
I have a great punishment, by the way.
Yep. This is gonna hurt.
20, 19, 18,
Upper junior double.
1 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato, or hamburger. You're gonna have to.
I'm Cam.
Have it your way.
Yeah.
You rule.
Hey, everybody. I got $148.44. Thank you, Shadow.
85.28.
144 as well.
91.54. I am a happy
Ooh,
man.
and Tom with $1,000.
Yep, I made $1,000.
Oh, dude. Hey, you know what?
Let's go.
$1,000. You're making that bank, buddy.
Tom has to buy Toradol and inject.
After all this, it's like you have to inject every day. Every day.
And then, no, I think Tom should have to recreate Tree's commercial step by step. The exact same product, frame by
the
frame.
whole time you're just having sex with the hamburger.
Yes, including the sex with a hamburger.
No, honestly, what he should do, he should have a personal tour of the Baltimore Ravens strength coach where they completely ruin his body.
People in the chat were saying a darkness retreat.
Ooh.
There you
How about
go.
an hour-long darkness retreat?
Yeah.
Ooh, you should do the entire clickbait show in the dark.
That's not really $1,000 punishment.
Yeah, that's true.
We need something good.
Because I also couldn't do it in the dark because the monitors would be on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark.
No, you would just have like headphones and you would have no access to
help
anything.
us out.
I can do a darkness retreat. I can try.
Would you do it?
I like the idea of you creating Trees commercials.
In the crawl space.
I wouldn't go in the crawl space because there's insulation that's hanging there, and that's not. Really
that makes it even funnier. That's worth $1,000. Come on.
For the medical
Live from
24-hour darkness retreat.
Ooh.
I like it.
24
The
hours.
only
Dude,
issue is
an
like,
hour.
how can I say that I did that?
Live streamed 24-hour darkness.
We got a late
retreat.
one here.
You got to put covers over your monitor. I'll jump in for an hour with the chat. 24-hour.
But the problem is like there's nothing. So like even there's little lights on in here. Like there's little lights on the webcam. There's little lights like.
Just cover them. It'll be fine. I'm here for this 24-hour darkness stream.
24 hours?
I'm not doing a 24-hour stream.
That's
Yeah,
unfair.
24 hours going to be
I would
extreme,
say
dude.
4 hours. One
Yeah,
for
4
every
hours.
day.
4 hour darkness stream.
One for every day
12
that
hours.
Aaron Rodgers was in there. I think
We're
it would be
only in
good.
there for 2.
I thought he was there for like 3 or 4.
I think
I know he's
the
supposed to be in there.
material would be good after like an hour of you just. In
I could
total
do-
darkness. How about a stream where you just put a hood over your head and you're just completely? I mean, that's darkness, right?
I could do it blindfolded. I literally could do a huge blindfold, and I could do like a. Would a 2 hour.
We're on the same page there.
Yeah.
Would a 2-hour blindfolded darkness retreat stream would that satisfy?
Yep. I just need
Okay.
proper planning.
Yeah, that's
I don't
And then
even
the
want
lights would all be
stream. I
off,
want
too.
Tom in darkness for 24 hours.
I think it should be at an obscure hour of the
I want
night
to
too, like
see this
midnight.
stream. I want to join in the chat.
All right, I'll take care of that. That's
Okay,
no problem.
there we go. 2 hours of darkness.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, I'll take care of it.
All right. I wouldn't
Wow.
make it.
I'll do
20 minutes.
dude. I
need to
wish.
see my penis.
Perna, what do you have coming out this week?
What am I doing?
What was
I don't
that?
know. I got something for tomorrow.
Oh, dude, that'd be great if I had vitamins to do it. Oh my god, that'd be
Something.
great.
What do you
Tom.
got, Scooter?
What do I have? I got a post Super Bowl meeting
Not
the
done yet.
NFC East. I'm very excited for this coming out next week. Maybe we'll see if I'll put together an NBA vlog. It's just so much footage. I'm not sure. Tom, what about you?
I put out a short today. The Bears fan reaction is done. I'm either gonna put it out tonight or tomorrow. And yeah.
5, what you got?
I had a little hitting video today that I put on Twitter and Instagram. Update on the swing. It's looking all right. It's okay. And then I have stadiums that were abandoned during construction. Incomplete stadiums. I found like 6 of them. There's a lot actually that are just unfinished.
I want
know what?
Tom doing only 2 wipes for a week.
Horrible. Well,
I don't want this man to get dysentery.
Tree, what you got coming out, Tree?
Well, I just released a video on the death of the regional sports network a couple hours ago.
Good.
I'm hoping to do an NHL trade deadline stream tomorrow if there are any trades left to make, and then trade deadline sports ball next week as well.
I can try to do my Q&A tomorrow completely blindfolded.
Ooh, let's do it.
Do it for 2 hours
Yes,
tomorrow.
2 hours
Right.
blind.
I'll try.
I want you wearing a bag over your head though, because that's how
I'm
I
probably
would
just
do
gonna
it.
wear a blindfold.
No, don't
Sure,
you
couple.
dare put that disrespect on Led Zeppelin.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Clickbait Sports this week.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
Tom.
Scooter, I want to know your skincare routine though. Like your skin looks amazing.
It looks
What?
beautiful.
I want to wear it.
Yeah.